Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In my last video I discussed about the civil society organization and NGOs. In this video I am going to discuss about the different classification of NGOs, the roles played by NGOs in the society and about the issues faced by them. So what are you waiting for? Let's jump to the classification of NGOs. The classification involves 4 categories. First is the grassroots organization. Second, support group. Third, the development and charity organization. And the final one is the political group or the organization with the political goals. I am going to discuss about each one of them one by one. The very first is the grassroots organization. They are also known as the action groups. The specific character of this organization is that they are working on the ground level, especially for the disadvantaged section or for the victims. Example of such organization is the Seva or the Jagori, which worked for the women, Cry primarily for the children, those who are deserted from their parents, and the next one is the Udan, which work for the disabled section. Next group is the support group. These organizations do not necessarily work on the ground level. They participate in support related work, and for this they do research. They publish articles and journals, etc. They are not directly acting for the purpose, but they are playing as a support. The example for this is the PRS, which is a website, and they present the bills and the act passed by the parliament, and they give the details and even they compare the data so that we can understand easily what are the differences made. Next is the ADR. ADR is the Association for the Democratic Reforms. It comes up with the data about the elections in India. They also advocate reforms based on the electoral data. After the election, when the data is released by the Election Commission, these data are analyzed by the ADR. Like how much money was spent, what was the average expenditure, etc. How many contestants were there and how many were with the criminal background. What is the percentage of women elected, etc. These are the certain data they are providing. Next we are having the development and charity organization, which is the third group. They do charity or participate in the development process. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and most of the corporate organizations are the example of this group. They have a charity organization. Bill and Melinda organization contribute to the health sector, and they work in the field of polio eradication and even helping the AIDS patient. They have done a lot of contribution for the eradication of polio. There are certain countries like Pakistan and Africa which are still suffering from this problem, and they supply polio vaccination or medicines to resolve this. There are certain medicines which can help the AIDS patient to live long. They are availed by this organization. Next example is Gunj. They play multidimensional roles like child care related issues, environmental issues, and even they play an important role in cleaning the metropolitan cities. They work in segregation of waste. They recycle it and dispose it. Next example is Pratham, which works in the field of education. Next and the final group is the political group or the organization with the political goals. Example for such is the RSS. They don't participate in election, but they have a certain political goals, and they try to influence the political party which comes to power to achieve those goals through them. They even contribute in other areas such as disaster management and even in community development. Now we have to understand the role of NGOs in the society. First, they play an important role in social development. They bring the social change. They ensure the process of development is taken up to the participation of all the members of the society. They play an important role in education and motivating people to be more assertive to their rights. Example is the Smile Foundation, which was set up in the year 2002 with the aim of bringing positive change in the lives of underprivileged children. Next is Care India. It has been working in India for the last 68 years and it focuses on reducing poverty and social injustice. We have to understand why there is a need of such NGOs. For that, we have to understand the society, which is in the form of pyramidal structure. Every individual do not have the equal status or they are following the hierarchy. The work of NGO is to ensure that the people at the lower level move to the upper level of the society. The lower level people, because they do not enjoy the fruits of the development, and those who are placed above in the hierarchy. If we are going to compare, we can understand that the lower level people do not enjoy the development as the upper level people do. So the primarily development of the welfare work done by the state is for these. The NGOs take up activities which benefit those who are disadvantaged. Next, and an important role is in the education field. The NGOs actively work for the promotion of education, particularly among the weaker section of the population. The education of girls, other deprived section, particularly scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, have been their objective. Example is Pratham. It is an innovative learning organization created to improve quality of education in India. Second example is Teach for India. They work on the voluntary contribution. They basically teach the underprivileged. It is a non-profit organization established in the year 2009. It recruits the college graduates and working professionals to serve as teachers in the lower income school. Next, and the very important thing is the role played by the NGOs in the women empowerment. Women are the part of vulnerable section of society. More and more women are working for their rights, involving themselves in the society. Example is Seva, Sathin, Disha, etc. These organizations are popular organizations. We have to understand one thing, that is Indian society is patriarchal society. Means the norms of the society are primarily male dominant. Due to this, the society works in the way which are contradicts to the rights of women. This have been followed from the medieval period. The example of the women exploitation is the Sati Pratha. This was only for women. And suppose the husband die, it was expected for the women that they should burn themselves with their husband. An opposite thing never happened. Means if the wife is died, husband is alive, he is not going to burn himself. And the other problem was the problem with the widows. They were excluded from the society. The NGOs ensures that there is equality in rights and opportunities for the women. Because still the society is patriarchal. Still the women are being the part of exploitation. Next is the very important role played by NGOs in the environmental awareness. NGOs have contributed to protection of environment, countering depletion of natural resources. A noteworthy contribution has been from the organization like One Shakti. It is a Mumbai-based organization primarily working to ensure forest wetlands, wildlife corridors, etc. Example for this is the Chipko movement also. Next, we are having the rehabilitation. The projects like construction of dams, roads, highways and other infrastructure projects often result in the displacement of certain section of the population, particularly in the rural areas, without being properly compensated. NGOs have a major role to play towards their settlement. and rehabilitation. Example of such group is the Swadhara, an NGO helping the victims of displacement, primarily women. Another one is the Kudumbashri. It is the Kerala based organization which is a self help group. At the time of Kerala flood, Kudumbashri played an important role. Next important role in protecting dignity. NGOs are providing services in restoring dignity of the deprived and the discriminated section. For example, protection of women suffering gender discrimination, racial and religious discrimination. Examples of this is the Safe in India Foundation, which focuses on women's safety, child protection, and gender equality. They come up with the multiple activities like self defense training, safe space for children, and cause the children they are the major section of the physical abuse and the sexual abuse, and this is very common for them. These abuses have long impact on the psychology of children. The NGO work for these victims by providing them counseling and to give them the special protection. Next and the final one is the human rights protection. The contribution of NGOs to human rights and public awareness is significant. They have contributed in the fields of rights of transgenders. We all know that they are not socially accepted. They are forced to beg. They are deprived from education and they do not get opportunity to the work. And even the others section of gender is introduced by the year of 2014. Before that they have to mention that they are either men or female, means they are not being recognized also. Secondly, even the homosexuals are facing many problems in the society. They are also not acceptable. So the human right they are protected by the NGOs. Next, to understand the qualitative role of NGOs, we can divide their role in four sections. First is improving performance of government by accountability, by doing social audit or the RTI activities means the activists they are playing their role. Next, by expertise, they are having the expertise. We all know the bureaucrats are generalized, so they were unable to resolve many problems of the society. Next, their role in the service. They are involved in the providing goods and services, constructive conflict resolution between the state and citizens, and they play a role in the social and economic issues. They resolve them. They serve those who are ungoverned, means last mile connectivity. And even they work for the mental health. They help the people who are having certain issues. Next is the building community participation. They participate in government and government related affairs. They improve the social capital. Speak Mackey is they organize cultural events in the various colleges to improve the culture of the society. Next is the safety valve role. We all know that the government policy create discontent among the citizen. So the NGOs provide the platform for letting off that steam. What is the problem and they are playing a role. It provides a platform for mobilization. Next is the issues and challenges. First is the problem of funding. The majority of NGOs face difficulty in getting adequate and continuous funding. There are three different funding groups. First is the self-funded NGOs. Second is the government-funded NGOs, and the final one is the foreign-funded NGOs. When there is a self-funded group, they are having a limited availability of the fund. When the government is funding the NGOs, there are two problems. First is the quantitative goals. Since the funding is not focused on the quality of work, they are funded on the basis of quantitative targets. And the second one is they are having the problem of arm twisting. When the government funds the NGOs, they want NGOs to produce results according to their desire. So results aligned with the government political agenda. Next and the final NGOs funded group is the foreign funded NGOs. The Intelligence Bureau, they come up with a report in the year 2013 that the India suffers approximately 2% of its GDP because of the activities taken up by foreign funded NGOs. They primarily target developmental project in India. For example, is Narmada Bachao Andolan, which was taken by a specific political group. This was also a foreign funded NGO. Next is when there was the Godhra riots. The victims were paid to give statement against the administration. They are again a national security threat. Example, we can have the Khalistan movement. Even the PFI, which is a recent example. The second very important issue is that the over regulation. The government regulations are sometimes misused in the order to stop decent and criticism of government policies taken up by these NGOs. Such policies impact the efficiency of NGOs. Example for it is FCRA. By this, I am concluding my video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.